My name is Fred Litwin. I'm the president of the Free Thinking Film Society. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight to our second major event of our third annual Free Thinking Film Festival. The way our festival works is we have four major nights, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then we also operate all day Saturday and Sunday. So tomorrow we actually start at 11 o'clock and we go all throughout the day. We've got three different rooms operating tomorrow, so there'll be films, three simultaneous films at the same time, so you'll have to make some decisions if you're here tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, we're showing a documentary called The Rescuers, which is an amazing story of a Rwandan genocide survivor who teams up with historian Martin Gilbert to talk to friends and relatives of diplomats who saved Jews during the Second World War. And the producer of the film, Michael King, has flown in from Los Angeles, and he'll be here after the film to answer questions. On Sunday night, we do our Raoul Wallenberg tribute. Raoul Wallenberg was a Swedish diplomat who saved around 10,000 Jews in Hungary right at the end of the Second World War. And we're going to show a Canadian film about Raoul Wallenberg. And then David Matus of the B'nai B'rith will talk about some of the latest research on his case, because he sort of disappeared at the end of the war. And my friend Flora Love Katz will come in, we'll sing some songs from the Holocaust, and we'll have a reception. Now tonight, we're going to show the film Death by China. We're very fortunate we have a lot of special guests, including Greg Autry, who is the co-author of the book and the producer of the film of which it's based on. We'll have a panel discussion after the film, and then after the Q&A, you'll get a chance to ask some questions tonight. We're going to have a private reception outside with some food, and you'll get a chance to talk to people privately. So we've got a great evening. I'm really, really happy with what we're going to see tonight. And hopefully I'll see a lot of you tomorrow for a great weekend. Now, just before we get started, I want to introduce another special guest. You may have noticed there's a table outside in the foyer for a group called Tribute to Liberty. This is a group that's trying to raise money for a monument to the victims of communism. I think it's a tremendous cause, a very worthy and important cause, and I'm really proud to have the new chair of the whole project, Ludwig Klimkowski here, who's going to come up and say a few words about this important project. Ludwig.
Good evening. I fully recognize that I'm standing between you and the movie, so I'll be brief. Okay. I'm proud to represent Tribute to Liberty. This is a Canadian organization that is building a Canadian memorial to the victims of communism. The memorial will stand right next to us at Wellington Street itself, in a small park in front of Supreme Court of Canada. It will probably take us another 2 years or so to get it completed. And if you were ask me, why is it that we are building this monument right now, right here in Ottawa, it's mainly for a few reasons. One of the reasons is that 8 million of us can actually trace our roots back to the communist countries. 8 million. That's 1 in 4 Canadians living today. Number two, I'm always reminded of the fact that if you look at the history of communism and you pick specific moments in time, like for example May of 1933, when small child, 8 years old, Yuri Lavronov went to his school in Kharkiv in Ukraine, sat in his class, and next to him sat his dear friend Olga, who after the class began, collapsed and died of starvation. He wasn't moved by it. He took it as a normal day-to-day situation. He went out, talked to his friends, and the friends just came back talking about little children from a fishing expedition at the local pond where they actually fished out a severed head of the friend had only because the body of that child was eaten by his parents. They couldn't live under the communist Holodomor imposed by Stalin. When you look at October of '93 and you recognize the fact that as many as 1.5 million Vietnamese were fleeing Vietnam, and about 77% of all the boats that they were trying to leave on, the fishing vessels, were attacked by pirates, and the little 6-year-old Vietnamese child was raped 7 times in a row by the pirates before she was killed and dumped in the water in front of her Vietnamese parents. I can't just simply say this monument will not get built. I'm Polish. My name is Litwin. I was born and raised in Poland. And the atrocity of cutting of Polish officers in a concentration camp imposed by Soviets is really strongly engraved in my mind. Remember this. The Soviets were equally as efficient as Nazi Germans in terms of Holocaust. In Katyn, they have lined up Polish officers right one next to each other, head to head. So when one of them was actually shot in the back of his skull, the bullet will come out and hit another one, so both of them can be killed at the same time. Okay? Friends, I can go on and on about it all night. 2 things that I want you to remember tonight. 1, tribute to liberty.ca. Second thing, tribute to liberty.ca. Alid and Alid is the treasurer of that organization, she's right there. We'll be more than privileged to answer any questions that you may have and to really ask for your help. I'm not reaching to your pocket to take your money out, I'll do that later. But I need your emotional, intellectual, any kind of involvement and engagement that you can provide for us. This is not an ethnic group's project. This is a Canadian national project because Canada gave a safety harbor to many, many of us. And this has to be here, and I promise you, it will get built there. Thank you.
Okay, so it's time. So please, it's time for Death by China.